Lady in the back over there, yes, thank you.
Thank you. Anna Milikian, Protection of Rights Without Borders. In many contexts, we have polarized media landscape, and many of media outlets, not being self-sustainable, have to count on the funds coming from their founders or donors. This results in spreading particular narratives, not always accurate, aiming to manipulate public opinion. Here, the role of investigative journalists and open source investigators and fact-checkers is vital. They help not only to verify facts, including war crimes, but help collect evidence in corruption-related investigations, for example. In Armenia, broader public and human rights expert community appreciates the efforts of investigative journalists, such as HEDC and others, for their efforts to shed light on corruption and prompt higher scrutiny and criminal investigations into these facts. Open source investigations become more and more important in the context of armed conflicts, as with the use of internet, a lot of footage with war crimes and other IHL violations are circulating over social media and attributed to different situations. Often, images are used repeatedly in different contexts to mislead the public. It is extremely important to verify the content, establish facts and accuracy, and shed light in case the image was doctored or made with AI. So they help to prove or disprove, and by this help actual investigations. In our fact-finding missions in relation to Nagorno-Karabakh armed conflict, we widely used techniques of open source investigation. We had to process hundreds, if not thousands, of videos taken reportedly by perpetrators and disseminated via social media. This helped us, but also BBC and Bellingcat, among others, to establish facts in numerous war crime cases committed by Azerbaijani servicemen. But for investigative journalists to carry out their role, there should be a financial sustainability and a legal framework not hindering their operations. So we would like to recommend to continuously support media outlets doing investigative journalism to allow them carry out their vital function uninterrupted. Another important aspect is an interplay between ethical journalism and media propaganda tours organized by parties to armed conflict. Azerbaijan excels in organizing tightly controlled propaganda tours. They invite groups of journalists or social media influencers, show them around, promote particular narratives. Following hostilities in 2020, Azerbaijan banned access to independent media to Nagorno-Karabakh and its vicinity to create an informational vacuum and then to fill it with its narratives and state-controlled reporting. They even organized a media forum in Shushi in parallel to a blockade of Nagorno-Karabakh, promoting their narratives, while people a few kilometers away were subject to starvation, and independent Azerbaijani journalists were arrested and sent to prison on bogus charges. Azerbaijani authorities did not allow participants to access the roadblock and independently verify the facts. While it is for the journalists and media outlets to make an ethical judgment whether to participate in certain events or not, they should do that responsibly. Media has a vital role of informing the public, but it should be careful not to become a tool for misinformation. Another aspect that we need to discuss here is access to information. If martial laws are in place, restricting the right to freedom of expression, and when access to internet is restricted during armed conflict. These are among tools used by parties to the conflict to control informational flows and public opinion as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, this gentleman,